5.6, example 2. Okay, in this we're going to be talking about the discriminants. A discriminant lets you know how many real roots you have, so of your equation. So we have to use the part under the square root sign of the quadratic formula, which is that b squared minus 4ac. So this is what we're using if I want to know how many. I'm going to have to use this. So make sure you know this part. You will need to know this part, so please write this down. You will have one of 3 answers. You will either get a positive answer, 0, or a negative number. If it's positive, you're going to have 2 real solutions. So that means if I have a graph here, it's going to hit twice on the x-axis. If I have a 0, that means if I have a graph, it's going to hit on the vertex at the x-axis. And so I only have one solution because it's the vertex, it's the only thing that's hitting. If it's a negative number, that means if I have a graph is going to be above or below, and I'm never going to actually hit the x-axis. So no real solutions, but we have 2 imaginary solutions or complex solutions. So we have to find the type and number of solutions for each equation. So we're going to use that b squared minus 4ac formula up there. To do that, remember to get equal to 0. So that means I need all my numbers to one, or everything to one side. So that means I need to take my negative 7 and move it over here. So I have x squared minus 6x plus 7 equals 0. I have to do that first because otherwise I don't have an a, b, and c. So identify your a, b, and c. Eventually I'm hoping you don't have to write them out. Your a is 1, b is negative 6, and c is 7. Plug them in the b squared formula. So b, this would be squared minus 4ac, this one. So b is our negative 6. So negative 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 7. I'm going to just plug that in my calculator just like that. Negative 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 7 is 8. So I'm going to come back up to my chart here. It is a positive number, so I have 2 real solutions. So I need to write 2 real solutions. So when I'm looking for this on a test, I will be looking for this 8 and how many solutions it has. B, same thing. Set it equal to 0, so that means I have to add my 9. So x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 0. If you need to, make your list of your A, your B, and your C. And plug them in. B squared, so negative 6 squared minus 4 times A is 1 times C is 9. Plug it in my calculator. Is 0. So if I have 0, I'm going to come back up to my chart. 0 is 1 real solution. So 1 real solution. Let's do C. Same thing. Start by getting it equal to 0. X squared minus 6x plus 11 equals 0. If you need to, actually make your list. A equals 1, B equals negative 6, and C equals 11. So negative 6 squared, B squared minus 4 times A is 1 times C is 11. Negative, so calculator, negative 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 11. Sorry, I missed a button here. Is negative 8. If I have a negative number, I have no real solutions or 2 imaginary or 2 complex solutions. So 2 imaginary solutions. Let's do D. Once again, set it equal to 0. X squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. A is 1, B is negative 4, C is 4. So B squared, so negative 4 squared minus 4 times A is 1 times C is 4. Calculator. And I get 0. If I have 0, I have one real solution. Try these two on your own for me.